Welcome. I'd like to start the evening by inviting all of you to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. And please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner sung by our Glee Club. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening. I'm Tristan Upson, the principal of HMMS, and I'd like to welcome you all, 8th grade graduates, families, friends, faculty and staff, and community to the Hartford Memorial Middle School's 2017 8th grade graduation. I'm so pleased to be here tonight, celebrating this year's 8th grade class. It's no secret that this group of students has been challenging at times over the last 3 years, as most of you sitting here tonight can attest to. But they have been challenging for the best of reasons, because they are a group of students who are chock full of leaders. They've just occasionally spent too much time vying for leadership amongst each other. So we started this year with a class trip to Holbert in an effort to bring everyone together and help them take on a position of leadership as a class at HMMS. And while I cannot say that there were no rocky moments after that point, I can say that the growth that I have seen this year from each student sitting before me today leaves me confident that they are now ready to bring a positive leadership to the high school next year. Students, I want you to know that I am proud of each and every one of you walking across this stage tonight. Some of you, I'm proud of how you daily go above and beyond to grow as a learner and take on new challenges. Some of you, I am proud of how you go out of your way to help and encourage others. Some of you, I am proud of how you show up every day and you don't give up and you keep trying. Each of you has greatness in you. Each of you has something special to offer to others. Each of you has the power to have a positive impact on our community and our world. As a language arts teacher at heart, there are some pieces of writing that are particularly meaningful to me. One of them is a poem called Famous by Naomi Shihab Nye. The message of the poem is that we are all famous to someone, maybe not in big flashy ways, but for being who we are and for sharing our individual talents with the world. I want to share this poem with you now in hopes that all of you will always remember your own unique gifts. Famous by Naomi Shihab Nye. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds, watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous briefly to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your heart is famous to your heart. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. Tonight, as we celebrate you, remember that no matter where you go from here, you will always be famous to us. You will always hold a special place in our hearts, and you will always be important to someone. I would now like to introduce our student speakers. Each of these students has been selected by their team teachers because they believe they had a message to share with their fellow classmates that would be beneficial. Our first student speaker is Haley Kendall from Team Equinox.
Hello, family, friends, and fellow 8th graders. I want to start by thanking some staff for helping me throughout these past years. I want to thank Mr. Nolan, Miss Long, Miss Green, Miss Chapman, Mr. Underhill, Miss Upson, Miss Cleveland, Miss Walker, and Mr. Harcourt. I'd also like to give a special thank you to a few people. These people have become more than a teacher to me, who have created a bond with me that will never be broken, and have become adults in my life that I feel like I can tell anything to. I'm going to start with Miss Dixon. Miss Dixon, I want to thank you for being extremely understanding throughout my whole middle school experience, for letting me have lunch with you when I was upset, and for cheering me up with your corny jokes every day. The last of all I'd like to thank is Miss Prescott. She's been there for me since day one, when I was a 6th grader. When I first walked into Miss Prescott's room, I was an extremely obnoxious and disruptive 6th grader. I got in trouble a lot and had a hard time with the transition from being in one classroom all day to many different classrooms with many different teachers. I came from elementary school where I had a really strong support system with the principal and a few teachers, to the middle school where nobody really knew me. Other teachers probably labeled me a troublemaker, but not Miss Prescott. She's always been supportive of me and encouraged me to achieve my best. Thank you, Miss Prescott, for being such a positive role model for me. I also want to acknowledge my classmates who together have created so many memories. Each one of you brings something to our class that I will miss once we leave Team Equinox. I'll remember my friends who persevered and the team class clown who made us laugh, always encouraging me with your positive attitude. I will remember my teammates who put life into reading plays, weren't afraid to share their ideas, and sometimes fell asleep during science class. We had amazing athletes with often carefree senses of style. We're dedicated to sometimes missing 2 days of school to fix a bike. We were creative and weren't afraid to be different, even eating a lettuce head all by itself on a field trip. Because of my classmates, I always knew the forecast. Even when it was raining outside, it was always good weather to some of you. Thank you to those who agreed with me even when I was wrong. Even though some of you joined our team later, you were great additions, and I appreciate the laughs you brought to our class. As we move on to high school, remember the words of Mark Twain. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. Surround yourself with people who care about you and build you up, who don't bring drama with them and want the best for you. Congratulations on making it through middle school, and good luck over the next 4 years. I'd like to now introduce Cheyenne Pirro from Team Altitude.
Wow, it feels so different up here. Good evening, Miss Upson, Miss Cleveland, staff, parents, and students. As Jack Canfield once said, don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't try. Throughout my middle school journey, I have learned to take more chances, and I hope you have as well. This year, I ran for president on my team here at the middle school, Team Altitude. Even though I wasn't voted in as a president, I learned that leadership roles come in various forms and opportunities. Instead, I led the Justice Committee for our team. In that role, I led my group in discussions about behavior issues on team or improvements that needed to be made. I also organized justice circles with teachers, students, and parents. If I hadn't taken the chance to run for president, I may have never learned that leadership opportunities come in lots of forms. Looking forward to high school, there will be multiple chances for you all to leave your comfort zone and try something new. I encourage you to try that class you never thought you could try, or study hard for that test you think you have no chance of passing, or push yourself to meet new friends and open your social bubble. You never know what could happen when you take a chance. I have learned a lot of very important lessons throughout my journey at HMMS. I have learned how to be a leader and help out others that are in need, and I have also learned how respect can be earned and given back as well. All my teachers have given me very crucial life lessons that I find myself using in certain situations. I have developed a keen sense for the needs of others, and while that sense is important, I'm still learning to look out for myself. Last week on our team trip, I was the fairy squad mother for my group of 6th and 7th graders. I spent my whole day protecting my children and making sure they all had all they needed, but at the end of the day, guess who was burnt to a crisp? This girl. It still hurts, don't worry, it still hurts. As we grow up, we all need to find that balance between caring for ourselves and caring for others. The teachers on my team strive to teach each student to be the best they can be every day, and I know for sure I have learned by now how to be a better version of myself. Seeing that better version mold and form is something that I am sure all of you have experienced at some point in your life. For me, I never would have envisioned myself standing up here speaking to you all tonight, telling all of you how fast time flies. It feels like just yesterday we were all packing our things into that 6th grade backpack and heading towards the bus for our first day of middle school, wishing summer would have lasted just a little longer. It feels like this year went by too fast. Seeing all of my friends at the dance and seeing them enjoy their last one at the middle school made me realize how grown up we all have become. Even though we are all so different in many ways, we all come together as one whole class in this moment. Our 8th grade class, the class of 2021, is filled with positive souls, entertaining clowns, determined athletes, empowering intellects, creative artists, and more. My hope for us all is that we find our place in this hectic world and you enjoy living your life. Over the next 4 years, no matter what your goal is, work hard to reach it, so that when you look back, you can be proud of what you have done to be where you are heading off into the world. Let's conclude with the thank yous. Here comes a long list. First of all, I would like to thank my amazing and talented parents for sticking with me through the ups and downs of middle school. You never gave up on me, even when I whined and cried like someone who just got their toe ripped off. Yeah. On behalf of all my classmates, thank you to all the moms, dads, grandparents, siblings, uncles, aunts, nieces, and nephews who have helped this class be who they are right now. Next, I want to thank my classmates. Friend or foe, we're all in this together, not the High School Musical song. And I don't think any of us would be where we are right now if we didn't support and love each other like we do. Thirdly, I'd like to thank all the teachers and staff at HMMS for teaching and supporting us towards a better life. The academic and emotional support are what we are going to remember you for after high school and beyond. Going across the parking lot, everything that I talked about will eventually show up in your high school journey. And with that, I wish us all good luck throughout the duration of high school. Duration, my bad. And may these 4 years be some of the most memorable and cherishable years of your life. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Alicia Thompson from Team Zapatero.
My name is Alicia Thompson, and welcome to Hartford Memorial Middle School's 8th grade graduation. Warning, if you feel like falling asleep at any point through my speech, I ask that you do not blame me for your need of a better sleep schedule. We are all here for a reason: to see someone graduate, say goodbye to someone, or to graduate, as we 8th graders will tonight. This night will be one of many milestones for all of us in our lives. For parents, you will remember sitting and watching your child grow up into the next part of their life as young adults. For graduates, we walk alongside our friends as we say goodbye to a major part of our life and say hello to a new chapter. In each chapter of our life, we experience different milestones, starting with our first steps, our first words, our first day of school, and now our 8th grade graduation, leading to our last years of school as we enter high school. All these things I listed are the big milestones, but we never seem to realize the small steps are what enable us to reach the larger milestones, and are the reason we're able to enjoy life. For example, to walk we have to stand we must crawl, and to crawl we must have the strength, courage, and knowledge to meet our first challenge. These are just a few of the small things that lead to who we are today. It all starts with the small things that grow into large things. Other things that make up who we are our traits. Our traits are usually what define us. Many times, though, our traits are mistaken by those who do not know us or choose to judge a book by its cover. For example, Many of you are called a class clown, but maybe you just enjoy making people laugh. Many of you may be called popular, but maybe you just got lucky. Some of you may also be told that you don't fit in, but maybe you just haven't been fully appreciated yet. Then there are also the ones that may not have a label. Perhaps that's because they themselves don't know where they fit in or where they want to fit in. The thing that takes us a little while to realize is that labels are not who we are. Who we are is what we see, not what other people see. Who we are is what we want to be, not what other people want us to be. Who we are is not dependent on the past. It is only dependent on what you do in your present life. The future cannot define us, and the past cannot define us either. The past has been done, and the future is yet to come. The present is all we have. The future is like the empty pages to a diary, because only the present can write what goes on those empty pages. I wouldn't have learned this if it wasn't for the many amazing people I met during my time in middle school. In just 3 years, the people around me taught me something that took me 14 years to figure out. Middle school showed me the kind of people I wanted around me. In 7th grade, most of my year was taken over by drama, whereas in my 8th grade year, I have found people who have been more laid back and have allowed me to be more of myself. It has also been a time I have learned what a best friend is. I hope this is true for many of my classmates, or will become true for them soon. My years at the middle school have also taught me how to better organize and use my time, although I'm not sure the sleep issue will ever be fixed. Many of my algebra classmates remember our 11 o'clock at night grade review conversations. Each individual day at a middle school seemed to feel so long and tiring, but what we didn't realize is that those long and tiring days and nights will eventually become the things we wish we could have back, much like our many hours of sleep loss. Tonight is the latest milestone in our lives and will be a milestone we remember for years to come. Middle school will now become an image and abundance of memories in our past, with high school becoming the new picture in our future. So at our graduation here today, we embark on an exciting end and set off on a new beginning with new adventures for each and every one of us. Thank you all for coming, and I hope everyone has a great summer. I would now like to introduce Cole Jasmine from Team Nova.
Thank you all for coming out tonight and supporting us. We are here tonight celebrating our graduation from 8th grade. These past 3 years have been filled with both fun and challenging moments, and packed with lessons we've all learned. Middle school has really taught me well. I learned how to find the length of hypotenuse and the area of a sphere, both of which I'm sure I'll use on a daily basis. I've made great friends and met great people along the way too, and this is still only the beginning. A perfect example of this is my football team this year. Not only did we come together as a team and play a really amazing season, but I made some lasting friendships and grew to respect the players and coaches. It was great to see our team learn from each other along the way. Being on the team this year allowed me to be part of something that was bigger than myself. I learned what it meant to be a part of a community and challenges of diversity within it too. I've learned that being involved in activities outside of school allows you to learn new skills and exposes you to new things. I hope everyone here finds something to be passionate about, as I am about football. My experience here at the middle school was definitely a good one. Middle school is one of those things that if you squint really, really hard, it doesn't look so bad. I really did enjoy middle school. I can definitely say I had some of the best teachers ever, even though they made me make coffee every morning. But I guess they let me wash my sneakers in that same sink too. But really, the teachers are who brought us here. They taught us everything we know now. Without them, none of this would have been possible. Obviously, I learned how to write an amazing essay from the best language arts teacher ever, and I can fully appreciate ancient Rome now because of the excellent historical lectures by Miss D. And Miss Thompson taught us some really cool things about rocks too, something about erosion. But truthfully, I learned so many things from my teachers that can't be taught in the classroom. Things like perseverance, being open-minded, and how to see the value that each individual brings to a team. As Grammy Award-winning rapper Drake says, sometimes it's the journey that teaches you a lot about the destination. I think I speak for all the 8th graders when I say, even though we are proud to be here and think we've had enough of the middle school, we are nervous for what comes next. I guess right now we are all the big dogs in the school, but next year we're going to be the little freshmen. In 4 years we will be adults, and I haven't heard that's very much fun. You have to get a job, pay taxes, and don't get to hang out with any friends. As much. So really, we're in a good spot in our lives right now. Every opportunity is still open for us. In these next years in high school, we get to decide what we want to do with our lives. And I'm not really sure I'm not ready to make that decision yet. The support of our family and friends helped us through middle school. I would like to thank my family for always being there to support me and encouraging me to do my best. My mom has always believed in me and trusted me to make my own decisions. Thanks for allowing me to choose my own path. My dad has always put my sister and I before himself. That doesn't go unrecognized. Our lives sure have changed over these past 3 years in middle school, so I can only imagine what will happen in the next 4. My time here has shown me there's no time to waste. We all idolize someone, but don't forget to be yourself. And remember, no matter where we all end up, whether it's being an athlete in the NBA or being an office worker in Oklahoma, we will be able to share a memory of this moment at Hartford Memorial Middle School. Never let a moment go unnoticed. Take a second right now to notice who you're sitting next to. This ceremony will be over shortly, and life will keep moving forward. Try always to take advantage of each opportunity you are given. Tom Brady once said, "I didn't come this far, I'd only come this far." So we've still got further to go. And so do we. Good luck to you all. Thank you.
I'd now like to invite the HMMS graduation choir to go and join Ms. Chapman from the school.
Yeah, Caleb.
Days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find a window. If it's cold outside, show the world the wonder and smile. The more than anything, more than anything.
We present 2 awards each year at the middle school. The first award is the Dwayne C. Williams Award. This award is issued each year in remembrance of an HMMS assistant principal who died tragically in a car accident. The award is presented to an 8th grade student who exemplifies the characteristics of leadership, integrity, and responsibility. Students are nominated and voted on by staff. I would first like to read the names of all the students who were nominated this year. Kaylin Bills, Zach Carter, Cole Jasmine, Deandra Goodspeed, Carter Nillette, Cheyenne Perro, Jacob Dwinell, Alicia Thompson, and Lexi Duranlo. This year, which is a credit to the leadership abilities within this class, the vote was incredibly close between all of the students, and there was actually a tie for the 2 students with the most votes. So both students will receive the award tonight. This year's Dwayne C. Williams Awards go to Cheyenne Perro and Cole Jasmine. The second award is the Gordy Roberts Award, named after a former HMMS teacher and coach. This award goes to 1 male and 1 female student athlete. Coaches and teachers nominate the students who they think exemplify strong academics and a commitment to being a team player. The recipients of this award are good students, put their teams first, and are willing to sacrifice for the good of others. They give 100% effort in all they do, demonstrate respect for themselves, their teammates, competitors, officials, and the game, and have all-around good sportsmanship and character. They are role models for their peers. Again, I'd like to share the names of all of the students who are nominated this year. Lexi Duranlo, Aiden Brooks, Katie Trombley, Jacob Dwinell, Zoe Pfeiffer, Davin Murphy, Calvin McCrory, and Kaylin Bills. Congratulations to all the nominees. The first student recipient of the Gordy Roberts Award this year has participated in cross country, basketball, and track while at the middle school. That student is Calvin McCrory. The second recipient has participated in basketball, soccer, and in the past, softball. That student is Kaylin Bills. Don't mind me, I'm just throwing things. Eighth grade graduation signifies the next step in your educational journey. For most of you here, it's more like 243 steps. That's the number of steps from here to the front door of the high school, give or take a few, since some of you are much longer than I am. On Friday night, the Hartford High School class of 2017 took the next step in their educational journey as they celebrated high school graduation. Tonight, we have invited Matthew Luke, a member of the HHS class of 2017, to share with you some words of wisdom about what the next 4 years may have in store for you. Matthew embraced the opportunities open to him at HHS, and as a result has received several recent accolades, including being an inductee into the National Honor Society and the completion of the honors program with his capstone title, Concussion Impact Study, HHS Football Team. He is the recipient of the 2017 American Legion Citizenship Award, the 2017 Hartford High School Scholar Athlete, and the Al Care Scholarship from the White River Rotary Club. He was also a captain of the 2016 Hartford High football team and the 2016 and 2017 lacrosse team. He will be heading off to Iowa State in the fall to study engineering, but it was not so long ago that he sat where you're sitting today. He is in a unique position to offer this advice to you as he reflects on his own time at HHS and looks ahead to his future adventures. Please welcome Matthew Luke.
Good evening, graduates, staff, friends, and families. I would like to start out by congratulating the Hartford Memorial Middle School class of 2017. I am very honored and humbled to be here and sharing this special moment with all of you. Everyone here is undoubtedly proud of all your hard work and is looking forward to seeing what all of you will accomplish in the next leg of your adventure as high schoolers. 4 years ago, I was sitting in the same seats you all are in. I remember being excited about all the summer plans I had. At the same time, I was nervous when thinking about crossing the parking lot in the fall and becoming a freshman. I was always told things would change once I was in high school. Things like my friends, my interests, my personality. These all contributed to my uncertainty about the fall. However, I eventually realized that all these changes were good for me. Over the course of the next 4 years, you will all have many academic and social opportunities through which you will need to navigate. There will be new classes available, things like 3D printing, debate, and German. Some of you may even choose to take classes at the HACTC, and I know it seems pretty far away, but a few of you may even choose to start your collegiate coursework at CCV, Dartmouth, or some other colleges in the area. There may be things you are doing now that you will continue doing in high school, like certain clubs and sports, but at the same time, you may decide to try some new things. For me, things like cooking club, yearbook staff, and going on a service trip to Thailand and Laos were all examples of things I did not think I would try, or at the least even be interested in. For some of my other classmates, things like playing football for the first time as a freshman, or learning a new instrument in band, were all opportunities that they decided to take advantage of. For those of you interested in STEM, there are many opportunities, like the math team and the robotics group, the Grasshoppers. I would recommend that all of you try new things throughout high school, as this is where some of your most influential learning will occur. You will experience many changes to all the different aspects of your life, growing physically, mentally, and emotionally, making new friends, and stepping back from some old ones. Families can shift and change as well as friends. You'll start to drive, start to work, and you will make choices that add value to who you are and choices that put you at risk or even get you into trouble. Some of these changes you won't even notice until 2021 when you're sitting in a cap and gown in front of the high school watching your classmates walk across the stage. Remember, there are a lot of people here to help you. Family, friends, teachers, coaches, and other community members. Many people you haven't even met yet. You are not alone to navigate all these changes unless you choose to be. That I promise you. Here are my key pieces of advice for high school. So for all of you that haven't been paying attention, please listen. Do not be afraid to try new things and make new friends. Give everyone and everything a chance. You may have interests and talents that you don't know about yet, and I assure you at least once you'll surprise yourself. Do everything 100%, even if you're wrong. We learn a lot when we make mistakes. Find the friends who support who you are and who you want to become. As I said earlier, friends change. Try not to be drawn to people who negatively impact you and your decisions. Have no regrets. Focus on your happiness, not other people's opinions. Pay attention to the places and things that make you happy and invest in those. Always remember the people who have always been there for you and do not push them away. When your parents or your other family members ask, "How was your day?" tell them. And don't be afraid to bore them to death with the details, because they'll love it. Always try and be kind, because you never know who's watching, and I assure you there is always someone watching. And lastly, when you're a senior, remember how you felt as a freshman and be kind to the underclassmen. I know it feels very far away, but it'll happen very soon. Enjoy your next 4 years as Hurricanes, because it goes by quicker than any of you can imagine. Congratulations, HMMS class of 2017, and thank you.
Before we present the 8th grade certificates, we have one special graduate to honor tonight. Mrs. Barton, can you please stand? Mrs. Barton is graduating graduating from middle school this year after 38 years. At this time, I would like to ask everyone here tonight who had Mrs. Barton as a teacher to please stand, parents included. Mrs. Barton, this is just a fraction of how you have touched the Hartford community. Thank you, and we wish you your best in your retirement. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Heather Cleveland, our assistant principal, for the awarding of the graduation certificates.
Good evening, and now for the moment you've been waiting for. It's my honor to announce the 2017 8th grade class of the Hartford Memorial Middle School. Audience, a request. This can be difficult and challenging, but we ask that you please hold your applause until every student has received his or her certificate. Here we go. Colston Allen. I knew it would be difficult. Maya Atkinson. Curtis Berry. Morgan Barwood. Shay Bean. Hope Bebo. Cassidy Beisler. Grace Belmont. Evan Berman. Tanner Bissett. Kaylin Bills. Aaron Blanchard. Bentley Bunyaharn. James Bollinger. Aiden Brooks. Ryan Burnham. Alex Bushway. Daniel Bushway. Bailey Cameron. Zachary Carter. Jasper Kate. Alessandra Simis. Nicholas Clay. Paul Cormier. Jessica Davis. Lorenzo Dobrich. Samantha Dunbar. Alexis Duranlo. Jacob Doinell. Jaden Esposito. Sway Fleming. Deandra Goodspeed. Brandon Grace, D'Angelo Harding, Nikhil Hamatilika, Emma Howard, Samantha Jackson, Cole Jasmine, Jasmine Jenkins, Phoebe Jensen, Eddie Gian, Gretchen Jocelyn, Wyatt Judd, Parker Kehoe, Haley Kendall, Alexander Clower, Taylor Kulik, Cameron LeBlanc, Kaylee Mangan, Nicholas Martin, Calvin McCrory, Mercedes Meeker, Maya Merrihew, Shane Miller, Regan Mock, Davin Murphy, Carter Nillette, Gabrielle Norwalk, Ian O'Brien, James Parmenter, Jewel Parmenter, Jordan Parmenter, Nina Patriquin, Thomas Payton, Cheyenne Perro, Zoe Pfeiffer, Nate Pike, Riley Potwin, Ethan Preston, Faith Pungat, Thomas Raymond, Sullivan Reichert, Benjamin Rushton, Ethan Shaw, Ada Seaver, Trevor Simmons, Vicky Singh, Riley Slesser, Jackson Smith, Zane Smith, Kayla Stalker, Finian Sunday, Trevor Sun, Slater Torino, Sierra Terrio, Alicia Thompson, James Thompson, Haley Thornton, Noah Tibbetts, Joseph Triplett, Nathan Triplett, Catherine Trombley, Cameron Tucker, Landon Westcott, Tyson Westcott, Abraham Wheeler, Cody Willis, Taryn Wimette.
Yeah, Taryn.
Congratulations to HMMS 8th graders.
I don't want to be stuck.
This is just an impromptu message to all of you who are here tonight. I have a memory of chemistry class when I was a junior in high school. And the student who sat in front of me got stuck on something that was going on and just turned and said to me, "Can you explain that to me?" And I did. But what I didn't realize was that with the sinus infection that I had, I was being really loud. And the chemistry teacher, who I really respected, turned and said to me, "Miss Breen." And for years, I carried that feeling of embarrassment and total shame. And I just want to say that if any of you are carrying bad feelings, that's not worth it. And know that any teacher that you might have old memories about that are hurtful, including me, especially me, know, and that goes for those of you now, it's not worth carrying it, because as a teacher, I am sure that Mr. Stevens forgot that instant that in the next 90 seconds. And the teacher was just trying to get the class to go on. So know that if you are carrying any kind of bad memory at all, that I would happily sit down with you over a cup of coffee or Coke or whatever you would like, listen to what you had to say and say, "I am so sorry that happened to you. I hope you can let it go. It's not worth carrying it." So, thank you.
I would now like to introduce Mr. Nelson Fogg, principal of the Hartford High School, who will close the evening with a few words of welcome to the Hartford High School class of 2021.
Good evening, graduates, family, friends, and Hartford Memorial Middle School staff. I'm honored to be part of this moment in your life, and we now have something in common. I graduated from Hartford Memorial Middle School in 1975. As I think about it, though, we didn't really graduate back then. We just sort of stopped going to middle school. There was not much fanfare. We probably had a dance, but I was socially awkward and probably have repressed that memory. I do fondly remember my 8th grade year. I recall our class trip to Algonquin, Maine, and the horrific sunburn that I earned. I remember playing football, hockey, and baseball, but mostly I remember the friends and activities that we shared. We left Hartford Memorial Middle School, headed across the parking lot, and began to prepare for our lives after high school. Perhaps this is where the difference in our lives begin. The world I was preparing for is significantly different than the one that you will enter. Tonight I want to challenge you to dream. When I left the middle school 42 years ago, my path through high school was pretty much determined before I ever entered Hartford High School's hallways. My classes were assigned to me, and I knew that my role was simply to do the best I could with what was prescribed. This is not the Hartford High School that you will enter in the fall. You will drive your education. You will, with the support and partnership of your teachers, coaches, and parents, determine your future. You will hear me encourage you to dream many times during your time with us. I can only hope that when your head hits the pillow on a regular basis, you are not afraid to think big. Think of what can be. Challenge us to support you in your dreams. Graduating from middle school places you in a position to begin that phase of your life when you decide what your future will look like. Thank you again for including me in your evening, and on behalf of the Hartford High School and the Hartford High School staff, I'm pleased to extend this welcome to you. We are ready to be your learning partners. Congratulations on your accomplishments. I'm told we're done. Congratulations.